Welcome to Bedtime Stories with Miss Elaine. Today we are going to do How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It's one of my very favorites. And this is modeling for you my very special Grinch headband, my Grinch PJs, and I actually have my Grinch mug with hot chocolate. So I'll be reading you the story and then we'll talk about some things about it. Let's go. Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot, but the Grinch who lived just north of Whoville did not. The Grinch hated Christmas the whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. It could be that his head wasn't screwed on just right. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. Whatever the reason, his head or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve hating the Whos, staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm, lighted windows below in their town. For he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now hanging a holly Who wreath. And they're hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas, it's practically here. Then he growled with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming, I must find some way to keep Christmas from coming. For tomorrow I know all the Who girls and boys will wake bright and early, they'll rush for their toys, and then, oh the noise, noise. And there's one thing I hate, all the noise. They'll stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'll stand hand in hand and those Whos will start singing. Fa Who forays, da Who dores, welcome Christmas, come this way. Fa Who forays, da Who dores, welcome Christmas, Christmas Day. Welcome, welcome, Fa Who ramus, welcome, da Who damus. Christmas Day is in our grasp, so long as we have hands to clasp. Fa Who forays, da Who dores. And they'll sing, and they'll sing, and they'll sing. And the more the Grinch thought of the Who's Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought, I'll stop this whole thing. 53 years I've put up with this now. I must stop Christmas from coming. But how? Then he got an idea, an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. I know just what to do. The Grinch laughed in his throat. I'll make a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. This is stop number 1, the old Grinchy Claus hissed as he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fist. Then he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch. But if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once for a minute or two, then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue, where the little Who stockings hung all in a row. These stockings, he Grinched, are the first things to go. Then he slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room, and he took every present. It was 1:15 dawn, all the Who's still abed, all the Who's still a snooze, when he packed up his sled. Packed it up with their presents, their ribbons, their wrappings, their snoof and their fuzzles, their trigglers and trappings. 10,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip top to dump it. Pooh-pooh to the Whos, he was Grinchly humming. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up. I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two. Then the Whos down in Whoville will cry, boo-hoo. That's a noise, grinned the Grinch, that I simply must hear. He paused, and the Grinch put a hand to his ear. And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, and it started to grow. But this sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded great. Why, this sound sounded glad. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. somehow or other it came just the same. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags. He puzzled and puzzled till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. And what happened then? Well, in Whoville, they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And then the true meaning of Christmas came through, and the Grinch found the strength of 10 Grinches plus 2. And now that his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light. With a smile to his soul, he descended Mount Crumpet, cheerily blowing hoo-hoo on his trumpet. He rode into Whoville, he brought back their toys, he brought back their floof to the Who girls and boys. He brought back their snoof and their tringlers and fuzzles. He brought back their snoof and their tringlers and fuzzles, brought back their pantukas, their dafflers and wuzzles. He brought everything back, all the food for the feast, and he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beast. Welcome, Christmas, bring your cheer, cheer to all who's far and near. Christmas Day is in our grasp, so long as we have hands to grasp, just as long as we have we. Welcome, Christmas, while we stand, heart to heart and hand in hand. Isn't that a good story? There's so much about the story that I like, and people are always surprised that I like the Grinch because, you know, people think about Grinch and they think a mean face and a green guy and he's not real happy. But you know what? The Grinch ended up happy, and I tell kids I like the happy Grinch. The Grinch's heart was too small, and his heart grew 3 sizes that day. The idea of that was he didn't have much love in his heart, but he was able to understand that Christmas wasn't just about what he thought. That rhymed like the Grinch. You know what's funny and what's interesting is that the Grinch thought that if he took away all the toys and all the decorations and all the fun stuff and all of that the Who's would be super sad and their Christmas would be spoiled. But instead what happened was the Who's woke up on Christmas morning and they sang and they gathered around their tree. It didn't have all the decorations, but they gathered around and they sang and they celebrated. Now what the story forgets to tell us is that the reason we celebrate Christmas is because the birth of Jesus. We get excited and we set up stockings and we set up our homes and our Christmas trees and we wear fun things and eat yummy treats because we're celebrating, we're getting ready for the birth of Jesus. Just like we're getting ready for a birthday party. When you get ready for a birthday party, you do things like decorate, invite your friends, buy presents, get a cake ready, all of those things. And we're doing the very same thing, but we're celebrating Jesus' birthday. And a lot of people forget that. So it's our job, kind of like the Who's, to show Mr. Grinch and to show our friends around and even the Grinchy people that Christmas is not about the decoration. It's not about the toys. It's not about the Christmas treats. Instead, it's about the birth of who? The birth of Jesus. So although this story, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, doesn't say anything about Jesus, it doesn't even use the word Jesus, we know that the Grinch misunderstood because he thought it was all about presents. And I know, and you know, that a lot of people in our world think that Christmas is all about presents, but it's not. It's about the birth of Jesus. So as you celebrate Christmas, as you get ready, don't be the angry Grinch that only thinks about presents and about fun and what's all in it for me, and I'm sad because I don't get what I want. Don't be that kid. Be the kid instead that is the Grinch that's heart grew 3 sizes that day because he realized that Christmas is not about presents. It's not about all of the decorations and things. It's about the birth of Jesus. So let's get excited and let's celebrate and let's tell all of our friends.
If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking or subscribing to my channel so that you won't miss out on any future videos. Or check out my website, Teaching Kids About God, at elainependergrass.com. Thank you so much.